Today we are making steam beer. Yes, but it doesn't actually have steam in it. I mean, I guess all beers have steam when they're boiling, but that's beside the point. Today we're making a steam beer, and it is actually called a California Common, but people started referring to it as a steam beer because of Anchor Brewing, which unfortunately is no longer in existence, but they had a beer called Steam Beer, which was their version of the California Common. This was a super simple recipe on purpose. So back in the day during the post-prohibition days when it was harder and harder to get different grains and ingredients, by BJCP standards, it's a slightly fruity yet malt-forward type of beer using mostly Northern Brewer hops for the hops. This video is going to be sponsored by Craft Brew, and we're going to talk about them in just a bit, but this is a beer style I have not brewed before, so I'm really excited to try it out. I've tasted other California Commons, but I've never brewed one myself. When talking with the guys from Craft Brew, I said, surprise me. I want something kind of late summer, early fall, and something maybe I haven't brewed before. And they did not disappoint by sending me the Steam Beer kit. So we're gonna go through the unboxing. We're gonna go through everything that they sent me, the entire recipe. After you guys hit that like and subscribe button, grab yourself a beer, and we're gonna get after it. All right, I know you guys all hit that subscribe button because you're awesome, and you hit that like button because it helps out the channel a lot. But if you really want to be awesome, hit that join button below and become a channel member. Members enjoy awesome perks like some exclusive recipes, my brew day sheets to help you along the way and take some notes, and you get to watch my videos early before anybody else. So hit that join button and become awesome. All right, we got our box right here from Craft Brew. I have, full disclaimer, opened it already because I did know that there was some live yeast in here and my hops, and I wanted to make sure that I got that refrigerated and put the hops in the freezer, so I had a little sneak peek ahead of time. But it does have a nice little reminder on the front of the box that says, live yeast, please refrigerate ASAP, so I did follow the rules. But let's dig into this box and see what's in it. The first thing that I saw when I opened it up the box was a cool little welcome card that says, Dennis, excited to collaborate with you on this brew and hope you enjoy the all-grain steam beer recipe, inspired by Anchor Steam, as we just talked about. Craft Brew now offers special all-grain recipe kits as well as malts by the pound, hops by the ounce, and a growing selection of other ingredients for folks to build their own recipe from scratch. And they gave you guys an awesome 20% off ingredients by using this code Cityscape Brewing during checkout. So we'll have all of these links and everything in the video description below, but go check out Craft Brew and use that 20% off ingredients Cityscape Brewing code at checkout. Next thing in the kit is an awesome, really detailed all-grain recipe kit instructions. This is pretty awesome. Everything from the beginning, opening, and what you need to do on the brew day, doing the mash, all the way down to bottling if you bottle or keg your beer. Giving it a once over, it actually looks pretty thorough, and I'm very impressed with it. So that's really awesome. I'll be using this today to actually go through our entire brew day as you would if you got this kit. The hops and the yeast came in specialized packaging to keep them cool, which was really nice. I do have those. For the grains, they have sent a large package. Looks like they're all mixed together from the looks of it here. It has 9 pounds, 5 ounces of two-row malt. It has 1 pound of caramel 40. It has 4 ounces of special roast and 4 ounces of victory malt as well. And so it looks like, just pulling this bag out, yep, there's no other bag, so it looks like they're all mixed together. I can actually see some of the different color grains in there, so you can tell that the caramel and everything's mixed all in there. Super convenient. For the hops, they have 3 different packages in here. It looks like I got 1 ounce of Northern Brewer for bittering, 0.75 ounces, 3/4 of an ounce of Northern Brewer for flavor, and then an ounce of Liberty to put at flame out. And one thing I noticed is on the package, they actually have bittering, flavor, and flame out listed right on here, so you cannot confuse which one is which on here. So that's really helpful, and it lists the alpha acids and everything, so if you want to put it in a brewer's app, you can do that. I use Brewer's Friend, and I did that as well, so this is going to be super helpful. As for the yeast, I don't have that because I actually created a yeast starter for that, but here is a picture of it. They gave me Kolsch 2 for the yeast choice. The suggested dry yeast would be Mangrove Jack's M54 California Lager yeast is what they suggest on here. They did ask if I wanted a liquid or a dry yeast. I said, I don't care, surprise me. So they sent me the Kolsch 2 yeast, which I guess is a really good option for this one from what I read online for a California Common or a steam beer. So This is pretty exciting. I did make a starter since I did get this kit a little while ago, and so I want to make sure I had the freshest yeast possible. So I made a quick starter with my home DIY proper starters, which are the little canned worts that I use. They take about 5 minutes to make a starter, really, really easy. If you haven't watched that video, again, I'll have that linked in the video description below. That's how you can make a yeast starter in under 5 minutes by making 15 starters all at one time, basically. But without further ado, let's get these grains all milled up. Let's get our water in here and our water additions in the Clawhammer system, and we are going to brew this steam beer. Let's go get it. All right, we got our grains all milled. Our water is heating up to 150. That's where we're gonna be mashing at for this one, to keep that a little bit on the drier side, although there's gonna be those malt flavors. That's what the recipe recommends, is 150 mash temperature. So we're almost there, and then we're gonna get mashed in. I did add my water salts and my lactic acid and other things that I need to get my pH correct. And if you need to learn how to do that, I'll have a link in the video description also to that video on how to adjust your water profile for certain beer styles like a steam beer. As usual, I'm going to put in 4 grams of ascorbic acid. That will help with preserving this beer long term, making sure that it doesn't get oxidized and stays as fresh to the last drop. And now we start our timer for 60 minutes. All right, let's talk a little bit about Craft Brew, our sponsor for today's video. Again, they have an awesome website. You guys should go check it out. It's craftbrew.com. On that page, they have all kinds of kits, from mead making to cider making to all grain brewing to extract brewing and everything in between, including some equipment that you might need along the way as well. They even have beer kits that are for 1 gallon versus 5 gallon kits. So if you want to do a smaller one to start out because you're new to brewing beer and you want to test out a different recipe kit, you can do that on a 1 gallon system. They also have craft root beer and craft soda kits as well. So you can do something with your kids. That would be also super fun. So because we're doing an all grain recipe, just specifically looking at their all grain recipe kits, they've got a really awesome variety of kits already put together, and they sell individual ingredients as well if you want to make one yourself. Some of the ones that caught my eye right away were the cold IPA. I love it. There's a Belgian white that's on there, a Japanese rice lager. There's also a black IPA, which you all know I'm a fan of those. I've made a few of them in my time. And you can also get this exact kit that I'm brewing today, this steam beer, which is the California Common. So go check them out. Make sure you use Cityscape Brewing at checkout for your code. That gets you 20% off of your ingredients. Shout out to Craft Brew, and I cannot wait to try this beer. All right, our mash has been about 60 minutes. We're gonna do a mash out, including what it says right here in the directions. They say to do a mash out by raising the temperature to 170. I do that typically, but I'm glad they include that because it's super important. So we're gonna go ahead and do that by changing our temperature in our Clawhammer system to 170. And then we're gonna leave that for about 10 minutes or so. That's gonna stop that starch conversion, make it a little bit easier to rinse those sugars off of the grains. And then we're going to go ahead and pull our basket out of here. The directions from Craft Brew actually do a good job of explaining how to do this in a batch sparge process, or a sparging process, where you'd have hot water that you would normally put in afterwards and then sparge slowly. And they touch on the vorlaughing process and then the sparging, lautering process after that. So that's helping to rinse those sugars from the grain. So even if you're not using the exact same system I am, they give you complete instructions on how to do that with your kit. All right, it's been 10 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and shut off the heat and the pump. I'm gonna go ahead and close my valve here, and we're gonna go ahead and pull our grains. All right, our basket's all pulled. We got our wort in here, and let's get it up to a boil. So we're gonna turn this thing on to manual mode so I can turn up to 100%. We're gonna turn back on our heat. All right, we're just getting up to a boil. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of Firm Cap S. Again, this is going to help reduce and prevent boilovers. So we're gonna add about a teaspoon or so of that. Then I'm going to turn this down to 63%, which is where I keep it to make sure that it doesn't boil too rapidly as we get going. 63 for the 240 volt version of the Clawhammer system is just about perfect. I'm gonna go ahead, now that we're starting to get a rapid boil here, and add our hop spider. Then we're gonna add our bittering hops. The ones say bittering right on the front, easy peasy. That's gonna be 1 ounce of Northern Brewer. Give her a little sniff. Ooh, smells good. Going in. Now we set our timer for 60 minutes. All right, with 15 minutes left, we are adding our second round of Northern Brewer hops. Going in. We are also adding a Whirlflock tablet and some yeast nutrient to help the yeast along that we've got in a starter. We'll be adding after we get done with our boil and cooling down. All right, we have just hit 60 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and shut off our heat. We're gonna add our flame out hops, which again is 1 ounce of Liberty hops. I'm gonna go ahead and add those in. I have the water going through my plate chiller right now, so we're gonna go ahead and get that going through the plate chiller by opening up my valve here. I'm gonna close the other valve that I was using before and open up my other valve that goes to my chiller. And then we can go ahead and safely start our pump. After we make sure all of our things are on, okay. There we go, we are starting to chill down. We're gonna try to get this as cold as we can. It is the late summer, it is warm outside. The water temperature is not our friend right now. And so what we're gonna try and do is get this as cool as we can. And then we're gonna transfer it into our fermenter. We're gonna put it in my fermentation chamber and wait until it gets closer to the lower 70s before we pitch our yeast. I took my starter out of the refrigerator. I decanted off some of the spent beer that was out the top, and then I swirled up the remainder to get that yeast off of the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and pitch this thing once we get it into our fermenter. All right, we got everything transferred in here. We are going to throw my tilt hydrometer in there that I've sanitized. I'm also going to get a gravity reading before that, even though this should give me the gravity, just to do my refractometer. And then we're gonna put this in my fermentation chamber. I'm gonna let the tilt tell me what temperature this thing really is, and I will go by about lower 70s before I pitch this yeast. It's pretty close to that right now, but I bet you it's maybe mid to upper 70s, as warm as the water is right now. So let me throw this in the fermentation chamber and we're gonna get after it. All right, I took a refractometer reading and I was at 1.058, which is right close to what the steam beer recipe said it was supposed to be 1.057. When I put the recipe in Brewer's Friend, it actually did say 1.058, so we hit our numbers perfectly, both pre and post boil, which is awesome. I love it when that happens. I'm gonna pitch this yeast when it hits lower 70s. We're gonna come back after this thing's fully fermented out, and then we're gonna cold crash it, we're gonna keg it, and we'll be back to taste the steam beer. Stay tuned. All right, the day we have been waiting for, our California Common, the steam beer, is complete. We have it in the keg, ready to go and pour a glass, and we'll see how it turned out. I've never had a steam beer before, or a California Common, so I'm gonna actually be looking at the BJCP style guidelines and seeing how it compares to the real thing, see how we did. So without further ado, let's pour one and find out. All right, and there it is. It looks a little darker on that side of the camera because I don't have any lights behind me, but trust me, this thing is a awesome, really good, actually very clear. It's very hot in my garage right now, so I'm getting a lot of condensation on the outside, but it's actually really a clear, nice amber color beer. Very, very nice. I really, really like how this one turned out. Some pretty decent lasting head on the top so far. And so, well, let's go through the BJCP style guidelines and let's see how it does. Should be overall impression is a toasty, caramelly, fairly bitter, standard strength beer with an interesting fruitiness, rustic wood hop character, smooth and well carbonated. So far, so good. Appearance should be amber to light copper color, generally clear with off-white to white head with good retention. So far, so good. We got a little bit of a, I'd say off-white head, almost white head on the top. Does last a little bit in there. And aroma should be moderate to high herbal, resinous, floral, or even minty hops. Light fruitiness acceptable. Low to moderate caramel or toasty malt supports the hops. Definitely get those kind of caramelly malt flavors in there. Definitely picking up some almost fruity and kind of even minty flavors in the hops. Interesting. I don't get a lot of minty flavors in some other hop varieties that I use. So let's go on in for the flavor. The flavor should be moderately malty with pronounced hop bitterness. The malt character usually has a toast, not roast, and caramel flavors. Low to moderate hop flavor, usually showing rustic, traditional American hop qualities, often herbal, resinous, floral, and minty. Again, that minty flavor coming through. I don't know if it will or not. We'll find out. Fairly dry and crisp with a lingering hop bitterness and a firm grain malt flavor. Light fruity esters are acceptable, but otherwise clean. All right, let's go in and see what we perceive. All right, right off the bat, it is clean and it is crisp beer. That is a good, nice crisp beer. Not super, super bitterness. It does say you should have some pronounced hop bitterness. I think it probably is a little bit on the lower side as far as the bitterness qualities are concerned. Maybe you could ramp that up a little bit. I mean, it's bitter. It's a little bitter. It's not pronounced bitterness, as it would say here. Definitely has that toast flavor, though. I do get that. I do get the kind of caramelly flavors, and I do get some kind of fruity, minty hop flavors in there. That's interesting because I've never really had something quite like that. Almost like it's very subtle. You have to think about it. Almost like reading it helped me kind of perceive it in my head a little bit as we were trying this. But I do get a little bit of it's definitely clean, crisp, and dry. Definitely got that. And with that grain flavor. So it's a great beer. I do get a little bit of that resiny, earthy flavors in there too, but it is nice and clean and clear. Very good. It kind of reminds me of like a different flavored ESB almost. It's not quite a pale ale. It's an American amber. It's 19B is actually the BJCP style guideline. And so it is not a pale ale. It's not an ESB for extra special bitter, but it's kind of a mix of some of those characteristics, but different. It's got this more earthy, kind of minty and almost fruity hop characteristic, but with that kind of toasty caramel flavor. It really does pair well. I can see why this is a pretty common, California common beer style for when you needed to use kind of less hops and more standard yeast, but to make a really delicious beer. This is really good. Again, not one that's easily found, so you almost have to kind of make this. Now that Anchor Brewing Company went out of business a few years ago, hopefully, someone will bring this back at some point, but that was the kind of style guideline for this beer. There's a few others, but they're really difficult to find, especially outside of California and other places. So you might have trouble finding this as a commercial example, but a really good one to really try out. That's why I really like having places like Craft Brew where you can buy some of these kits that you wouldn't otherwise have thought of before, right? They have some of these awesome kits, a black IPA. Maybe you don't know the first thing about putting that together. Well, you should watch my channel on that. But also, they have the kits already ready to go, and it makes you think outside of the box. I'm super happy that Craft Brew sent me this kit in particular because it's not one that I had done before. And I, like everybody knows that's watched my channel, I like to be a little more adventurous when it comes to my brewing and mixing it up a little bit, changing ingredients, doing different styles I haven't done before. And this one was definitely one I wouldn't have picked first, but I'm really glad I did it. It was great. This is a good fall beer. I can imagine sitting around a campfire having this beer. It's like a late summer, still has that crisp, dry finish to it, but yet it kind of feels like you should be easing into fall a little bit. Not quite a nut brown ale yet, but kind of weather, but like a little bit of that early fall, late summer vibe going on here. So ditch the pumpkin spice this year and get with the steam beer. Go and try this one out. Also, go buy your ingredients at Craft Brew. Again, that link will be in the video description, but it's craftbrew.com, and use code Cityscape Brewing for 20% off all of your ingredients. So take advantage of that code, get some discounted grains, equipment, etc. And with that, hit that like and subscribe button. Happy brewing, and cheers. Hey, thanks for watching my video. You're awesome. You want to be even more awesome? Hit that join button and become a member. You'll get exclusive members-only recipes and other perks like brew day sheets and watch my videos early as they drop before anyone else. So hit that join button below, become a member, and be awesome.